Today is Christmas of 2024. I've been, well, I didn't write it down here. I need to write, I guess, 2024. Now I'm in Salem, Virginia. So I've composed a list of all my Christmases since I've been on the road. My first one was in Austin, Texas. I made a mistake here, but I was home in Indiana for Christmas that year, 2011. I hitchhiked down from Iron River, Wisconsin, down to my home in eastern Indiana down there. It took me 10 days, from the 10th of December to the 20th of December, from Iron River, Wisconsin, across the UP and all the way down through West Branch and Lansing, East Lansing, and Flint, Michigan, on down to Coldwater and back home to Indiana. It took me 10 days. That was December, coming through Wisconsin and Michigan. It was pretty cold. So anyway, and then 2012 I was back home, Knightstown. 2013 I was in Kennett, Missouri, went there to see a buddy of mine there, but he was in the hospital because his daughter had just been born. She had a lot of complications, so he couldn't come see me, so I was kind of fishing the water there. And so then 2014 I came back to Arkansas, went to Beebe, Arkansas, which is just north of Little Rock. Got some buddies live up that way, or yonder ways. 2015 I was in Casper, Wyoming. 2016 I was near Silverado Canyon, just west of Silverado Canyon. I can't remember the name of the city out that way. I was in Newark, Delaware, a year after I was in California, and 1 year later I was in Newark, Delaware. I had taken 8 train rides from Tampa, St. Pete to Savannah, Georgia, and I took 7 more train rides all the way up to Baltimore, up through Richmond, Virginia. I was in Fayetteville and Wilson, North Carolina. Fort Bragg, actually. I'm not in the Army. I got a lady friend of mine who's in the Army out there, and her husband as well. And then 2018, I was in Crosby, Texas, about 45 minutes northeast of Houston, Texas. That was my 3rd time going to Crosby, Texas. 14, 15, and 18. I'm sorry, 14, 15, 17, 18 is my 4th time going to Crosby, Texas. And then 2019, I was in Birch Bay, Washington. That's the tippy top corner of the continental United States of America before you go into Canada. Blaine, Washington. And then Palm Beach County, 1 year later, I had hitchhiked like 14 or 16 states from Washington all the way out across to Ohio. Well, actually, I'll tell you this right now. Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, South Dakota, back into Wyoming, down through Nebraska to Iowa, Amtrak to Chicago from Iowa, to Lafayette, Indiana from Chicago, hitchhiked across the state to home to eastern Indiana, and then moved away 21 days across Ohio, spent 4 months in Indiana, Pennsylvania, helped a buddy of mine clean up his property, caught the Amtrak from Pittsburgh back out to LaPorte, Indiana, hitchhiked back home, went out, saw Kentucky, Tennessee, Tennessee, Georgia, and all the way down to Palm Beach County, Florida in 1 year. I think it was like 14 or 16 states I saw. So, and went across Ohio twice. So, and saw Indiana twice as well. So that was a pretty crazy year, probably my longest trek across the country. And then 2021, I came back to Kennett, Missouri, between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I've got it written down here to always be there. $500 gifted to me in 2 days. I don't bum. I do not panhandle. I do not go out and suggest. All I do is walk. People come to me and give me the money. People pull up parking lots. People throw a rock at me with a $100 bill wrapped around it. It's happened, So it's happened, Same way with other things too. Weed, I'll say that. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not, but yeah. And then Kennett, Missouri. It's not a really safe town to live in. It's a different town. I'll just say this much right now. And then a year later, I was in Deming, Las Cruces, Mexico. And then back home this past year, I was back home in Knightstown, Indiana. So that's my Christmases on the road, and I'm starting my Thanksgivings over here. So that's all I got to say. Thanksgivings and Christmases on the road. I'll do a video for Thanksgiving later. I got stories for days.